He knows. But you got to have that time spent with God. Next week, we're going to talk about communication. Communication with a horse, communication with our spouses, our friends, but also communication with God. But I asked Vickie, and I didn't ask her until she got here this morning because I didn't want her thinking about it. I happen to know about Vickie's quiet time with God. This ain't mine. This is hers. And I wanted her to just share with people your time that you spend with God. This is not about the things that steal time. This is how she adds time. You got it.
Oh boy. Before I kind of explain what I do every day, those of you that know me know that this last year has been tough. There's been a lot of tears. There's been a lot of ups and downs. But there's also been a peace. Those of you that don't know me, 13 months ago, I lost my husband. A freak accident with a horse. And if you knew Larry and I, we had the best relationship that a husband and a wife could have. But it didn't start out like that. It was, neither one of us liked to talk a lot. But as we grew to know each other, that talking, it became easier and easier and easier. And that relationship that we built didn't happen overnight. And I want to equate that to my relationship with God. There is no doubt in my mind that He had prepared me for the accident that took place. There is no way that I could have gotten through this had I not had that relationship with my Father. Every morning I get up and I make my tea or my coffee and I sit at my bar and I have one of those Jesus Calling books. And I start with that. And 9 times out of 10, it is dead on to what I need for that day or something that I'm going through at that time. And I just sit and I read and I'm quiet and I listen to what He's telling me to do. And sometimes that's not easy because you think, you're focused on praying and praying. But sometimes you just have to zip it. And you have to listen. So that's the first thing I do. I start with that Jesus Calling devotional. And you'd be surprised that little bit of time has evolved for me, sometimes 2 hours. But I know not everybody has 2 hours to devote to prayer time. But what I will tell you is you need to take 5 minutes. Nobody, I don't care how busy you are, what kind of job you have, how many animals you have to feed, I have plenty. But start with just 5 minutes in the morning because that ultimately will dictate your day or how you deal with things that come at you during that day. So while I can sometimes spend 2 hours, I assure you if you take 5 minutes, that 5 minutes will become 10 minutes, will become 15 minutes, and you will find a way to make God priority in your life. It is so important. I cannot stress how important that time is and making it a priority. We all have busy schedules and we all get pulled to do different things. And yes, it happens to me sometimes. I have appointments I have to do in the morning. And when I come back and I do it in the afternoon, I look forward to doing it, but it doesn't have the same impact as when I start my day with Him. So, like I said, everybody's on a different level, and I'm not holier than thou, but this is just how I've gotten through the last 13 months. And I just challenge each one of you to make it your priority in the morning above anything else. And then the other thing I want to say is quiet time is good, but just like my relationship with Larry, we didn't have one conversation a day. Throughout the day, when I'm faced with something, or if I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, I talk to him. It does not have to be on my knees with my eyes closed and my hands together. He wants us to talk to him throughout the day. So when Skipper asked me to do this, I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? But this is from the heart. You need to make it a priority. And trust me, you will have time to do all that other stuff that was important to you. And if you don't, it wasn't that important.